Hello and welcome. Today we are going to be dividing with 2-digit dividends and 1-digit divisors. And this is from your math book, page 169. So 2-digit dividends and 1-digit divisors. So first let's talk about what those numbers mean. So if I have 36 divided by 3 equals 12, and we could also write this same problem as 36 divided by 3 equals 12. Each of these numbers has a name. So in the red here, those red numbers, those are called the dividend. The red numbers are called the dividend. That is the number that is being divided. I know you can't see too much of a difference between the blue and the green, but this blue number here, this is called the divisor. That is the number we are dividing by. And the green numbers here, the 12s, that is called the quotient. That is the answer to a division problem. And it's important that we know the names of these numbers and their positions so that we can talk about the numbers that we are dividing. So it's important that we know that the dividend is what is being divided into. The divisor is the number that is dividing into it. So how many groups are we making? And then the quotient is your answer. So it's important that we know these terms. So let's go in and start our division here. So in the example here, we are going to be dividing. It says Eli donates his toys to 5 different charities. He has a total of 75 toys to donate. Eli donates the same number of toys to each charity. How many toys does each charity receive? So what we have is 75 toys divided by 5 charities is going to equal T for toys. They want us to practice using our variables here. And so we are going to divide. So I first write it like this. And anytime I write it like this, you can see that the dividend is that first number always. And it's the number that we would say, that I would say goes into the house. So when I'm rewriting this to do my longer division, I put that 75, the dividend, in the house. And the divisor goes outside the house. So step 1 is to divide into the tens place. So I'm going to put divide into the tens place. And that's here, 5 divided into 7. So I'm thinking, how many groups of 5 can fit into 7? So I know 5 times 1 is 5, and 5 times 2 is 10. 10 is too big, and so this must be a 1. So 5 times 1 is 5, and I'm going to put it there. So my second is to multiply. We're multiplying 5 times 1, and next we're going to subtract. That's 7 minus 5, and that equals 2. And then after we subtract here, we're going to bring down this 5. So step 3 here would be to bring down the ones place. We're going to bring down the ones place. And so now I'm dividing 5 into 25. So I have to use those fact families that we used from lesson 1. And I have to think about the fact family of something times 5 equals 25, or 25 divided by 5. And I know that 25 divided by 5 is 5. And so what I did here, step 4, was I divided again. And now I'm going to multiply 5 times 5. Oops, let me scoot that up, sorry. And 5 times 5 is 25, and so I'm going to subtract. (25 minus 25), which gives me 0. And in order to check my work, so if I want to check it and see how I did, I'm going to put it down here first. To check it, I'm going to multiply, sorry, the divisor times the quotient. I'm going to multiply the divisor times the quotient. So that would be 15 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5, 6, 7. And it should equal the dividend. Right? So when I multiply my answer times the divisor, 15 times 5, I get the dividend. That means that I am correct. All right. Sometimes we have a remainder. So let's go through these same steps again and see what happens when we get a remainder. This time, and a remainder means what's left over. It remains. This time we're doing example 2. Caleb is putting his baseball cards into his album. He has 57 cards, and he can put 4 cards on each page. How many full pages will Caleb have, and will there be any cards left? So this time we're doing 57 divided by 4. And so I'm going to rewrite that so that I can perform the division, and it gets rewritten like that. Remember that the dividend goes in the house, that first number. So 57 divided by 4. So step 1 is divide into the tens place. So 4 divided into 5, or 5 divided by 4. So I know that 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. So 8 is too big, so I want to do 4 times 1 is 4. Then I'm going to multiply. 4 times 1 is 4, and subtract. 5 minus 4 is 1. Next, I'm going to bring down the ones place in this case. And now I'm doing 17 divided by 4. So I think about my 4 facts. I know 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. And 4 times 5 is 20. We want the number that is closest but smaller than what we are dividing into. So 16 is the closest but the smallest. So how do I get 16? 4 times 4. So I put a 4 up here. 4 times 4 is 16. And I subtract and I get 1. If there's nothing left to bring down, and when I subtract I get a 1, and subtraction is the last thing I have done, and I get a 1, that is called my remainder. So I have 14, remainder 1. To check this one, I multiply the divisor times the quotient, and then we add the remainder if we have a remainder. So I'm going to add that down here to our directions, and let's check it. So I would do 14 times 4, my quotient, times my divisor. 4 times 4 is 16, carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And add my remainder, plus 1 is 57, so that I can check to see if I am correct. And if my final answer is the same as my dividend, I have done the job. All right, I hope this has helped you.